Hey there, lovely art friends! I'm absolutely thrilled to welcome you to a special journey. Today marks the beginning of 12 Days of Christmas Painting Challenge, and I'm so excited to start this adventure together with you. Now, before we get started, take a look at this beautiful sketchbook. It's not just a blank canvas, it's a doorway to a world of inspiration and intention, and where we can find that inspiration. And here's the exciting part. Inspiration is everywhere! Maybe you have some nature finds from summer? Discovering hidden treasures right here in my studio. And even sourcing ideas from the vast collection of free stock images on pexel.com. Today we are going to create title page and first day of the painting challenge. But this isn't just about painting, it's about infusing every brushstroke with meaning and setting intentions for the days ahead. I wanted to create this challenge with a deeper meaning, and setting intention into each day's painting gives a new meaning to a painting challenge. My plan is to dedicate each day of the painting challenge to each month of the upcoming year 2024. Set intention for each month of the next year, intention of letting go of something I no longer need, and give positive intention of a wish or a goal. I will share my everyday process on Instagram as posts and short videos, also here on YouTube Shorts. I also invite you to join. Set positive intention for each painting you are doing. How to do it? Before starting to paint, think of something you want to let go or want to achieve. You can set both. Then while you are painting, you can think of what you intended, or if you are too concentrated on painting process, write your intention in your sketchbook right beside your painting or on the other side, and let's see how it will manifest. As today for the first day of painting challenge, I choose this evergreen tree, arborvitae or thuja tree. It represents growth, life, strength and good luck, which I will need, and it's a perfect starting point for our journey. Day 1 and this evergreen arborvitae branch painting. Arborvitae or thuja tree is one of the fastest growing trees in the world, and translated from Latin means tree of life. My intention: let go of self-doubt and hesitation, allowing your creativity to flourish like the arborvitae rapid growth. My wish: may your artistic journey be abundant and full of life, just like the tree of life itself, as you cultivate unwavering confidence and nurture your creative spirit. As we go along, I'll be sharing the different stages of the painting process so you can witness the transformation of this humble branch into a little piece of art filled with intention. Welcome to day 1 of 12 days Christmas painting challenge. Today we will paint evergreen arborvitae tree branch. Outline is done. It is available for download, and with an elastic eraser I'm removing excess amount of graphite off the paper. Taking watercolors, I will be using sap green together with perlin green, a little bit more of perlin green and sap green for a darker mix. I'm using finer tip brush and small amount of watercolors. This is a small painting, taking a little bit of lemon yellow. This is small painting and really tiny details of each branch. We are not going into detailing that we see in the reference photo, but we want to catch the characteristics look of this branch. So when we open our sketchbook, we understand that this is not just some kind of tree branch, but this is really an evergreen branch. And I think most of us are familiar with this tree, thuja tree or arborvitae. It's called in different cities, different countries differently. But I think most of us know this tree. It grows in our gardens, most of all. And now I'm using my finer tip brush and going straight with watercolors because this is so small and tiny area that we are working on. And I'm using watercolor mixes that we pre-mixed, sap green, perlin green, and a little touch of lemon yellow. Transparently, applying first layer of watercolors, moving with small brush strokes. And first, before starting this painting, I set an intention, a goal for next year, and I also want to give a little bit of technique class in this tutorial as well. And what I want to emphasize here is that control your brush with the very tip. This branch has so tiny little details, and we can't just go straight with bold brush strokes. This is all about controlling your brush. How are you applying watercolors using that very, very small tip of your brush? And this painting is not just about Christmas, it's not just about intention, that is the main part, but also a little bit of technique as well. Me as an art teacher, I can't go without some kind of techniques in my tutorials. Here I'm taking a little bit of darker watercolor mix, which is perlin green, a little bit more intense with sap green. And where those little branches are intersecting with each other, I'm adding a little bit of darkness so we can separate them, and we see that there are some also tonal values. And we are not separating with outlines, but with shadows. And in the reference, we can clearly see that there are darker areas of the branches that are behind the front branch. All these details are captured with one layer. I will go here in this tutorial maybe 2 to 3 layers in some areas just to get the main idea, to get in the spirit of Christmas and train your brush strokes. Taking watercolors again, I'm taking transparent yellow and applying where I have already green mix, alizarin crimson, and mixing together with the greens that I have, and I have this really vibrant brown watercolor mix. And we see in the reference photo that in the middle on the stem there are little parts of brown, and that is also a really characteristic look of this arborvitae tree, that there are some browns and green parts, and this also is important. Do not skip this part. Add some browns in the branch as well. Continuing with applying greens to cover all the branches that we see, using all the time only the very tip of the brush, carefully, gradually, transparently, so we have room to go darker with the next layer to separate some branches to make them more three-dimensional, that something is behind, something is in front, not outlining but separating with the shadow area. Same technique, same approach, all the way in this composition, carefully adding details. And as you notice in the reference, the stem and branches, they are not straight. They are little things, and they create this more wavy look of stems and branches. So take that, study carefully. Of course, if you want to go really into detailing with all those little details, you can, but this is like a daily challenge, and I would recommend you go a little bit looser, but don't lose this fine details, these fine little branches. Don't lose those details. First layers are applied, and we can go now a little bit darker, taking Perlin Green and Sap Green, and on the stem I'm adding on the right side a really thin line of darker watercolor mix. It will give an illusion that it is more rounder, it's not flat. Even when going looser, we can have some features of realistic painting that is helping us to create it more realistic, more natural looking. Also, separating those branches with darker tonal values gives also more volume, and you can see by looking at it, opening the sketchbook page, that it is a branch. This is evergreen branch, and we can see dimension, colors, characteristic looks of this arborvitae tree, and painting still with the very tip of the brush, carefully looking at reference. You can go on and go a little bit further, push yourself a little bit further with this painting and add more details to shadows, to little details. Like here, with the very tip of the brush, I'm adding those little darker lines. Those are little details that I see in the reference. And I'm just adding a little bit so that from distance you can see that there's these particles that are visible in a reference. This is about controlling your brush, making different textured brush strokes to create the illusion of that exact plant that you are painting. It's not always about going really the same details that you see in the reference, but you can use your brush in many ways to create the texture that is visible in the plant in real life. Adding these last details for day 1 of my challenge, and I really like the idea behind this challenge to give intention to each painting, and while I'm painting I can think of that, or maybe if you are too concentrated on the painting process you can write it down, and when the time will go, you will open it up, remember the days, remember your intentions, and it gives a deeper meaning to your painting process. Also, a beautiful approach how to paint sketchbook. And at the very end, I decided to erase some graphite lines that were still visible, but be sure that at this point your paper is completely dry. Thank you, and see you tomorrow on day 2. In conclusion, I want to inspire each and every one of you to join me on this adventure. Whether you're an experienced artist or just getting started, this challenge is all about embracing the process, setting intention for each day, and celebrating holiday season through art. So grab your sketchbook and your art supplies, and let's paint our way through holiday season with purpose and passion. And stay tuned for the next 11 days. As we continue this incredible journey together, I will be sharing each day on Instagram posts and Reels, also here on YouTube Shorts. Full tutorials will be available on my Patreon. Until then, remember to embrace the process, find inspiration everywhere, and keep those artistic fires burning. You got this! After this challenge will end, I will share a free ebook of whole this challenge to have it in one place so you can follow along. If you can't do it right now, you can do it at your own pace. Thank you.